Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Owner's Box. I'm Billy Koch, founder and managing partner of the Little Red Feather Racing Club. Joining me alongside, as always, the great Michelle. You never know which way to point, so I just point both ways.
Did you know if you click on your camera, you can touch up your appearance?
I did, but it doesn't make me look any different. I tried it.
I
You
don't
look phenomenal, always. I can't wait to
Okay,
see.
this is no
Yeah,
filter.
yeah.
Filter.
I don't really see a difference. I'm sorry. You
I
look
guess that's
great.
good, right?
Here's
That's
the
good.
funny thing is, I'm looking forward to, as with all of the people now that we do video, of what you plan on doing with your hair throughout the episode. It's
Oh
going
my
to
gosh,
come
that's
up,
so
it's going
annoying.
to come down, it's
Also,
going to go
look,
behind the ears.
I was told that I have my background all blurred out, and I'm like, because you don't
Yeah,
want to see what's behind me. So this is why I have a race riding horse here,
yeah, it looks
and like
good.
a day bed, and then my Harry Potter area,
What
and
is
then
this room in your house?
so this used to be my dining room,
Okay,
but when Olivia moved into her own room, we only have, like, 3 bedrooms in our house, so
sure.
I had to take all my office and move it out here, so, like, now I have my desk, and I took out the dining room table, and my mom used to stay in the room that Olivia's in, so we bought this, like, full-size day bed, so when
I
my
like it.
mom stays over, she can stay there, and then this is, like,
Gotcha.
our library, and I've got my let's see, that's all filled with champagne over there in the back.
That's your
And
champagne.
then I've got my
Right.
champagne, like, thing right here too.
Yeah, of course. You love, everybody knows Michelle
I
loves
love
champagne. We got a great
champagne.
show, Michelle. We have a very special guest. Brandon Badgett will be joining us. He is the co-chair of the HISA Next Generation Advisory Group. So we're going to find out what that all means, because to me, I have no idea.
I also have no idea, and, I told them specifically when I talked to Brandon, I'm like, "I need to know what it is, what you're doing, and why it's gonna help the owners."
Right.
So,
Okay, good. Well,
hopefully he's
that
gonna
sounds
come
good. And
with
then next week, we're going to
all
have
of
a
those.
special guest, we hope, excuse me, as long as I don't have jury duty, which I find out Sunday night. And then we'll have a special guest, which will be kind of neat. Let's keep it a surprise.
Yeah, keep it surprised. And
Yeah,
then after that, I'll be in Saudi, but I'm sure we'll still do a show.
we did the show last time in Saudi, remember?
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
So I
well,
think
let's try
we'll
to
probably
do
will
it.
have a show.
It's fun to do
Okay.
it
You
when
ready
you're
for
on the road. And by the way, before you get 3 things of note, and I know we want to get to it, but I want to thank my buddy Steve Haskin, who sent us the nicest note.
I could not
Um,
believe that was from Steve
he
Haskin. I
found
wanna
our
frame it
show.
now.
He found our show on YouTube, which I don't even know how to find our show on YouTube, but he did. And hey, Steve, we appreciate the nice note. It was very nice. And keep watching, buddy. There you go.
It was. I
Derby
wonder if
dozen.
I
Isn't
can
that
do
Steve's big
video.
thing? Derby
I
dozen.
wonder if I can do video in Saudi 'cause
Of
I
course you
bring like a
can. We just need
no, but
Wi-Fi.
I bring a little tiny computer, and I don't know if it has a camera,
Do it on your
and I don't
phone.
wanna bring the mic.
Do it on
We'll
your
see.
phone, bro.
Okay, maybe on my phone. Um,
All right,
okay,
3
you
things
wanna
of note.
start
Go.
with Derby Dozen as a 3 things of note?
Sure.
Don't make I do this in my hair constantly, 'cause yes, and that's why I didn't
Now
wanna
you're
be on
so
video.
totally self-conscious.
Well, I'm already self-conscious, I think about it all the time. If I moved my hair as much as I thought about it, the whole show would just be like this.
I think people would like that. I dig
I
it.
love it.
It doesn't
Let's
bother
get
me.
back to our AMSR.
Oh God, come on. Too bad.
Okay,
It's too bad people don't know what we were talking about before we rolled the cameras today.
right. So we'll start with the Derby
Yes,
situation. So we had a couple of Derby prep races.
yes, we did.
We'll start with the Withers, which went
Okay,
to Uncle Heavy, who's
okay,
by Social Inclusion, owned by Michael Milam and trained by Robert Reed.
okay. Robert
I didn't
Reed
watch that. Did you?
Rich Strike fame. No,
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't
No, that's
watch the
Derek
Withers.
Reed.
Withers is not really. Is it really a prep? Is it even a prep?
I don't know. I don't know if it
Okay,
is or not, but I may have
all
to
right.
include it. But then we had the
Let's get to
Holy
the
Bull,
serious
which was the return of fierceness, which was disappointing.
one. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Fierceness ran great in his maiden race and ran great in the Breeders' Cup, and then has thrown. And the other two are just complete clunkers.
Clunkers. I mean,
Clunkers.
the
I
problem
mean,
with it is, like, it's okay to get beat, in my opinion, right?
of
It's
course.
hard to have a horse that's all or nothing, right? First or
Yeah,
last.
and everyone's
But
like, "Oh, he had trouble. He broke slow, and Johnny V was wide, and like all this stuff." It's like, dude, that didn't look like a Kentucky Derby horse. I'm sorry. I hope he turns it around for the commissioner's stake. Go commish.
right? And then in the Southwest Stakes, it was Mystic Dan. Oh, by the way, the
Yeah.
winner of the Holy Bull, his
Yes.
name is Hades. He's
Hades.
a Florida bred by Awesome Slew, trained by Joe
Yeah, why
Orsino
not?
and
Good
owned by
horse.
DJ Stables and Robert Cotran. And then the winner of the Southwest
You know what?
Stakes.
Hey, you could show a replay. We could talk about it.
Yeah, I could. What do you want to see a replay of? You want to see a replay of the Holy Bull?
No, I was joking, but you
Oh, I
could.
can't. No, I
Stretch
can
run.
show that now. I
You
don't
could do
know,
the
like
you could do the
copyright
stretch
stuff,
run. No,
but I
Hades was good.
could.
Hades was good. I like that. He gave him a hell of a run.
Do you want to watch
Did
that? Let
did you
me
even
pull it
get
up.
that? You're supposed to go dun dun. You
Yeah,
didn't
I
hear
like
that.
puns.
Gave him
Puns
a
are
hell
fun.
of a
Yeah,
run.
hell of a run. Hades.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the
Who was the
Southwest,
best 3-year-old you saw last weekend, Michelle? There's only one.
Nisos.
Hello?
There's that's the best 3-year-old by far. That was mind-blowingly good,
I mean,
right?
it was awesome. I mean, when he found that other gear at the top of the lane, it was like, wow. I mean, it was
Look,
breathtaking. It was
when he was like sitting behind and they were like just chilling, chilling, chilling. Bob even told me, Jill was like, he's not gonna catch that horse. And
yeah,
Bob was like, no, he's gonna catch him, he's gonna catch him. And
yeah,
I mean, caught him, went wide, caught him, and then down the lane, just like looked like he
power.
could never stop. I'll tell you this, he was asleep in the paddock. When they brought him back to the winner's circle after, he was like, that
Just
was
didn't
fine.
care.
Like some
That's what
horses
good
come back and
horses
they're like
do.
blowing fire and they're like all amped up, and he
No.
just came back like, oh, that was cool. Like didn't even phase him at all. He's got so much like American
The fact
Pharoah
that
mind in him.
he is not going to run in the Kentucky Derby
Who?
is a
Oh,
sham. It's a sham. It's a
well, Sham
joke.
ran the Derby though.
I know, but it's a joke. It's a joke. Something needs to happen. Like Churchill needs to wake up
Why?
and
Maybe
say,
the Derby's just not that important.
it's not.
Maybe
It has
that's
no
maybe that's
to
the
me,
fact that we need
without
to look at. It's not that
without that
important.
horse and who are the other ones? Muth
Moose
and
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 Maymoon.
Maymoon, whatever the hell that name,
Mhm.
hell, Hades. Without those three and whoever else Baffert's going to throw out in the next couple weeks that we've forgotten about because he's got so many, it's a joke. Derby's a joke. You win the Derby this year, should have an asterisk.
Well, I
Sorry.
mean, everyone else makes their way there, but look, this is showing them, right? Like this is not the be all end all race of
No,
all
the
races. Like,
Preakness might
yeah,
be insane.
Preakness, it might be insane. I mean, you could do the Preakness, the Delmont, you could do the Travers, you could do the California Crown that
Haskell.
Stronach's
Yep.
doing now.
Yep.
Haskell,
Pacific
there's a
Classic.
Pennsylvania Derby, Pacific I mean, look, Baffert
Yep.
won the Pacific Classic with a 3-year-old last year.
Yep.
There's a gazillion ways you can go that really, when you win the Derby, what have our Derby winners gone on to do? Either
Zilch.
you're like win the Triple Crown and then nothing, or just nothing else after.
Yeah. It's everyone's like, ooh, it's $5 million. You know what? To me, I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Michelle and I, we would love to be in the Derby. I don't think you've ever had a runner. I've never had a runner in the Kentucky Derby. And I would love nothing more. And if it was my turn this year, I'd run in it and I'd pretend it was the greatest race ever. And that was it. But it's a shame that these horses aren't going to be able to run, these Baffert horses. Susan Chu, owner, Bioma Corp, and Flavian Pratt. What a start to the year for our boy Pratt. Should we get him on?
Woo!
We love having Pratt on.
Love me some Pratt.
He's the best. He's the best.
He is the best.
Maybe this is his year for the Eclipse. I know he's been close. Irad just kind of dominates, but
what's he gonna do for a Derby horse?
I don't know. He'll believe me. I don't think it's too worried about it. Cox will have something.
Maybe.
You know, Chad
I
Brown.
got one more horse to tell you about on the Derby trail there.
Who you got?
Mystic Dan won the
Yeah, I like he won in the
Stakes
slop.
for Kenny McPeak, yes, and the owners are Lance Gassaway, 4G Racing, and Daniel Hambry. And he, by the way, is the son of Golden Sense. So cumulatively, looking at the sires that sire Derby prep winners this weekend, Awesome Slew, Golden Sense, Social Inclusion, and then
Pedigree.
like Nyquist.
Right out the window, pedigree.
Crazy, right? It's cool though. It's cool.
Listen,
Looking
you and I
at
say all the time.
on the blood horse, Byron King has the top 12 road to the Kentucky Derby, his Derby dozen or whatnot.
Yeah.
So his number 1 horse is Dornoch.
Oh yeah, he's cool. He's a cool horse.
Okay.
He's the half brother or full brother to somebody.
Mage.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And then number 2, he put Fierceness. Number
Yeah.
3, he put Locked.
Yeah, he got sick and has missed the Tampa Bay Derby this weekend.
Number 4, he has Track Phantom.
I like that horse.
Do
I like
you?
Track Phantom. Yeah,
Okay.
I like him a lot right now. I thought he was very impressive. Steve Asmussen trains.
Number 5, Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
That's Magner, Tabor, Derek Smith, Rocket Ship Racing, Peter Brandt, and Chad Brown. Talk about a who's who of people there. Number 6 is Forever Young, who's a Japanese-based horse.
Can you sing
So
that song?
he has won all 3 of his races, including the Nippon Neshai Yushan by 7 lengths. And the next Japanese Road to the Derby race is February 18th in the HISA.
We have to get to Brandon Badgett, and everybody's now texting me saying they want to hear you sing Forever Young.
Forever young, I want to be forever young. No?
I thought it was a different one.
What other one is
Now
there?
I can't think of the one I was thinking of. No, shoot. Oh, I'm totally. Oh, no. All right. Damn it. All right.
Anyway. Okay, I have a couple of 3 things to know. So that was our Derby thing. So you think the top horse, obviously nicest, barring the Baffert horses, who do you like then?
I like that Steve Asmussen horse.
Okay.
I like him.
All right. I don't like anybody right now.
Yeah. It's early.
Okay. I'll do some sad news and then we'll finish it up with some good.
Oh God, sad news is so sad.
I'm gonna go Maj and Goodnight Olive both retired to be bred.
I saw that.
They both were supposed to race this year. We did like our horse racing fantasy draft, and you should be in my racing fantasy draft, actually.
Okay, I'm in. I don't have a lot going on.
We can't add you late, but next year I'll have to get you in.
All right. Can I just be on your team now? So I can kind of learn?
Yeah.
All right.
Maj and Goodnight Olive. I drafted Maj too.
Yeah.
So that's disappointing. And then the super sad news is Toby Keith passed away on Tuesday or Monday night. He'd been battling stomach cancer for the last several years. In fact, the last couple of times you saw him at the races, you could see he was thin. I saw him last year at, where did I go? I think it was.
You know where I met him at a Nancy Bello birthday party.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. He sang the private concert.
Yes, I was there that night. He's such a cool guy. He was always very friendly, loved racing. Can't say enough nice things about him, and all the outpouring of support on social media and everything you saw. One of the good guys. It's too bad.
Yeah.
Very sad. Very sad, Michelle.
And I was just a huge Toby Keith fan, regardless from I'm a country fan, and
I love the country.
I should have been a cowboy.
Speaking of that, did you see the Luke Combs, Tracy Chapman?
Yes.
Now, that was I was crying.
I'm sorry, but when we first heard the Luke Combs version, I said it's just not. It's not even close to me. The Tracy Chapman version is so superior. But I like.
That's not what it's about, though.
I know, but it is though, because everyone's bringing it. I love that he brought her out, because I think that people just heard his music and was like, this is a great song and he's done such a great job, and didn't realize how impactful and poignant her version was. And then to have him bring her out, which she hasn't performed in years.
I have the chills now. When they started on the guitar and you saw the hands, and I was watching it with Walker, my son, and I was like, is that Tracy Chapman? And then they panned up and I was like, oh my God.
I should find that. I should find the Tracy Chapman Luke Combs.
It was awesome. We're gonna just play that. I think we should just play that for the rest of the
show. It was so.
I think if Michelle sang it, it would be amazing. We love when Michelle sang. All right, Brandon Badgett is coming up. Do we have anything we have to pitch or talk about? I think Santa Anita. We do that at the end, right?
We do it at the end.
Okay. All right.
Let's see if I want to see if I can hear this here. It doesn't want to play sound for me. Okay, and then the last thing is just Saudi Cup's coming up. I think that I feel like for a year that we're lacking a star power horse returning, the Saudi Cup is going to be stacked. We've got the British Cup Classic winner in White Barrio. We've got the Preakness / Pegasus winner, National Treasure. Tom Ryan just announced that they are heading over there. Defunded is already over there. We have the Dubai World Cup winner, Ushba Tesoro. We've got Derma Sotogake, who was runner-up in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Hoist the Gold's going over there, so you're going to have an honest pace going, this mile and eighth one turn, right? So I just think from a quality standpoint, it's going to be a really good addition if you look at the credentials of the horses, even if we don't have a big headliner of a horse, right?
I agree. Sometimes depth is better. It's a very deep field. It should be tough. It should be fun. I think it's on the 20. What is it on?
It's the 24th.
Saturday, the 24th. So 2 weeks from Saturday in Saudi. All right. Good stuff.
Now we're
get Brandon?
Now we're just waiting for Brandon, but he hasn't logged on yet.
Oh,
that's the one bad thing about video.
All right. Well, we can pause. We can come right back with Brandon, right?
Oh, we could just play Tracy Chapman singing.
You got Tracy Chapman?
I think I do. Let's see. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to give it a whirl here.
So
I'm going to present, and I'm going to share my screen.
Look at this.
And then I'm going to do the Grammy thing.
And I'm going to like what happened when Jess and Emily called you the other day.
No, we're not going to talk about that. See, I don't know. I can show this, but for some reason the sound doesn't come up.
Are you sure? Just show it and see what happens.
It is like they're talking, but there's no sound. See what I mean?
Yeah.
What a bummer. What a bummer. I'll have to work on that. I'll have to work on how I import sound into the show. All right, we're going to take a quick pause, and we'll be back with our guest.
Pause. All right, look at this. Michelle figured it out. You were a genius. And look below, we have Brandon Badgett joining us. Brandon, the co-chair
of the fancy office.
It is. What are the silks? What are the blue and yellow silks right there? Like
those are actually the Oxley
Narcos ones. Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
I barely see. Oh, I see. Now I see.
I don't even know who gifted it or whatnot, or we bought. Like, there's so much random stuff on this.
I see Secretariat up there.
Secretariat's over here.
Belmont, yeah.
Clipboard.
Yeah, there is an Eclipse Award. It's a second place finish. I actually have to look whose it is. It was a lot of these things were just gifted and thrown up on the wall. We kind of just kept adding stuff, and it's fun.
Michelle, I love that it's like a second place Eclipse and they don't even care.
I didn't know that you could get an Eclipse for second place.
I was gonna say, I think the person didn't want it, so someone just sent it to me. So I don't think it was like anybody in relation to me. But
I mean, when did the Eclipse go low?
They cost like $3,400. Like when you win an Eclipse Award, they will give you the one, but like for copies, they are $3,400.
Yeah, I think my dad has won Eclipse Award at his place in Florida. He has yet to give that to me, but he's gradually started to ship.
What was it for? Which horse?
That was for Go for Wand back in 1989.
You've heard of her, right, Billy?
I have, yeah.
I was say we got a whole section for her. Yeah, there's a whole section for her right here.
That's cool.
Nice. Well, tell us, Brandon. Obviously, we know that you are related to Billy, but tell us a little bit about your career thus far in horse racing. Obviously, you're very young. How old are you?
I'm 30 years old. Yep. So
30. You don't look 30.
I know. I got it. Sometimes
like
it's good. Yeah. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. Right now, it's good. I'll take that. So I appreciate it. But yeah. So myself and horse racing kind of grew up in the horse racing industry. My dad being a trainer, so he's Billy Badgett. Now he works for the Stronach Group as director of horsemen's operations, I think, in Florida, South Florida. So he focuses there. And then my stepdad is actually Mark Henning as well. So also a trainer.
Oh.
So then I'm also related to Kieran McLaughlin and multiple folks, Scott Walker, who breaks the yearlings at Juddmonte. So like if there's somebody on the racetrack, sometimes I'm related to them. My coworkers are always laughing at that. But really
sounds like our last week, Michelle, when we found out so much about interrelations.
Yeah, the Bell family.
I was listening to that whole thing. I was like, I think I can compete, but I'm not at that level.
We need to make a chart now for
I'm trying to get there. Yeah, we're trying.
You know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start embroidering family trees for racing families.
I was going to say mine's a little bit messier with all like step uncles and cousins and this, that. But really growing up in the racing industry and going to the barn every single day with my dad and really falling in love with it. I always thought from a young age I would become a trainer and work in horse racing, and seeing the grind that he went through and some of the ups and the downs, of course, it was great. And also there were some sad days as well. But it really was a great opportunity to kind of see that. And my goal was always to keep racing in mind and stay on top of it. I'm a massive fan, as you could tell from my wall. Luckily, my wife lets me hang up all these things, which is absurd, but staying closely related to it, but also working in the business world and really gaining a good understanding for other industries and staying in touch with horse racing and really following it along. So a couple months back, I reached out to Lisa Lazarus of HISA, and I just sent her a LinkedIn message, and I was saying, hey, Lisa, would love to jump on the phone and just touch base with you and learn a little bit more about what you all are doing. And of course, I'm following along on Twitter and learning a bunch there, but she was nice enough to say, sure, let's jump on, which I thought was awesome. And after 30 minutes, we started just talking. And, you know, of course, she has some ideas, tons of ideas over there, and I love what they're doing. And I had a bunch of ideas that, you know, throw darts at a wall. Some are probably okay and some are probably horrible. But I was like, let's just have a conversation and see what happens. And through that came this next generation advisory committee, and really trying to get folks like maybe like myself who have a love for horse racing or used to be in it and are no longer in it, or those who are still in it, or those who might not know about horse racing from other industries that are, you know, great leaders in their own spaces. And we'd love to pick their brains to try and build this collaborative group to really say, hey, look, sometimes it's hard to get in this industry. Sometimes this industry pushes people away from it and they're super talented. Let's get those people in the room and let's actually try and get something done here. So that's what we're really looking to do.
Wow. I mean, it sounds like a bold endeavor. How are you finding these people for this next gen advisory group? That's question number one, I would say. And question number two, what are the goals of this group? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. I love those thoughts, Billy. And that's kind of what I came to it of like, what are we going to do here? And that's kind of what I was talking to Lisa. And to be honest, I think we're still forming that. But the biggest thing is like, we got to prove it, right? There's a lot of groups out there that come together and like they form and then maybe nothing happens, or there's great groups and it's hard for them to push things forward. And I think that's the importance here of actually being able to partner with a group like HISA, who are an amazing group and obviously are pushing the industry forward and trying to change an industry that's been around for hundreds of years in this country. That's where I think we can make the difference there. And we're looking for folks of all different, perspectives, really diverse group. We've had an overwhelming number of applications, which has been awesome from that perspective. I think a lot of people have wanted to see something like this come together. And, we're looking for folks that starting off in the barn, from grooms and exercise riders, assistants, trainers, owners, right? Everyone's perspective is important. And then also us reaching out to folks outside the industry that maybe we know from our own personal networks. I know that I know a few, and there's other people in the group that are a part of the group that know folks from other sports industries and whatnot, that we can kind of go and say, hey, look, would you be interested in this? Of course, we want people who are going to be passionate about it and are willing to understand what this group is about. But the nice thing is that we've gotten so many applications already that it's kind of filling up the list, and we're going to go through an interview process here shortly. But at the same time, we're also looking to kind of go out and target some folks who could be really good fits as well.
So when you called Lisa, what were some of the ideas that you said, I want to just throw against the wall here? Like, what do you think we need to do to make racing better?
Darts.
Yeah, I was going to say lots of darts. There's, again, some good ones, some bad ones, but a lot of it was more. Yeah, examples. I've always been one to look at like training statistics and large amounts of trainers. That having my stepdad be Mark Hennig and my dad be Billy Badgett, who, he was a trainer for all those years and kind of being pushed out of the game towards the end of his career. And it was tough to see, right? And you have trainers with large amounts of horses, and maybe there's something that you could put in.
You're talking about the super trainers.
Yeah, which I support some of those people. I think they're the best out there, right? But in terms of diversifying the game and being able to have trainers where something may trickle down, let's say it's like, capping horse amounts for trainers. It's something that was something that's in the back of my head, and it's not something that I'd say Lisa was pushing forward. But as well as looking at statistics of trainers, and maybe something where certain trainers and following the data behind trainers that are out there, and maybe something is increasing drastically, where that might say, hey, look, maybe there's some unfair advantages going on here. But it's stuff that I've just been following over the years and collecting data on trainers win percentages, amount of runners, and something where maybe you could track some of the data there, and then in line with like some sort of process to look into those things a little bit more. And it's stuff like that. And I think HISA's got a great team. Again, some of my ideas, I'd say I'll save a couple of them because they're in the backlog, but it's stuff where it's just constantly thinking about things where maybe there could be an improved process in certain areas and stuff that we could try.
Oh, interesting stuff. Go ahead, Michelle.
So in theory, then, if I want to get this right, you guys are gonna interview all these people, and you're gonna form this advisory board.
Yep.
And then is it going to be like whenever HISA is going to do a ruling or make a rule or something, they're going to be like, hey, board, let's all get together and see how this works with every different facet? Or is this supposed to be like a brainstorming board?
Yeah, I look at it more to start as a brainstorming board. And I think it's really, in my perspective, I really look at it as kind of like a prove it year where it's saying, hey, as this group comes together, let's really form something and try and put ideas, maybe some issues that are going on with the industry and stuff that we could look to solve and actually have measurable actions to push against. So it's the idea that I'm thinking about. And when talking to Lisa is, hey, let's get a group that can ideate together and then try and push these things forward outside of the group and then provide things to HISA as ideas that they can potentially say, hey, you all can run with this with the, the group that you have and the oversight that you have in the industry. And then from there, the hope is as we start to maybe push some things forward, gradually just collaborating more and more with the group over at HISA.
Brandon, is there an age limit? I know this is the next generation. Is there some type of, you said you're having people send in applicants. Is there an age qualification?
So we don't have a formal age qualification. It's more
I could still be in.
You could apply. Yeah, you could apply.
You could apply.
We're looking at people in maybe the early to mid stages of their career. And I think that that's something that people might sit there and say, hey, what is that exactly? Which is fair. And it's something where we're just going to go through the application process and see, hey, maybe there's people out there with more experience or more leadership experience. And maybe there's people who are newer to their career, but they're really passionate about this. And they write a great letter to us and something where their interview is killer. And I think that's what we're looking to kind of bring together all things. And we won't put an exact age limit on it. Of course, we're looking for people that maybe are to the early to mid stages, but at the same time, it's not to say it's capped at any age.
How big is the board going to be? How many people are you looking for? Is this a 10, 20, 40, infinity?
Yeah, I believe we're looking for somewhere around 12 to 14 members
to
start, which that's where it's going to be. We got a lot of work ahead of us to go through these applicants and maybe these interviews and whatnot in the next couple of weeks. So we're looking to probably cap it about 12 to 14 folks.
Fair. Michelle.
Brandon, I want to know, because obviously we don't get a real clean look at the inner workings of HISA. And I think a lot of us are I don't want to say like confused about some of the things, but they're like, well, horsemen wouldn't say this, or a horseman, they haven't thought this through for horsemen sometimes. Since you have a horseman's background, can you kind of give us a glimpse into like the workings of HISA is it HISA or HISA?
See, I'm from Long Island, so originally I wanted to say HISA because I just am like talking so quick and all this stuff, but it's HISA, I believe.
Okay.
But I'd say
can you give us like a look at like how do you feel from a horseman's perspective, like that they're doing as we obviously try and navigate something completely that's changed our whole racing structure.
Of course. And I think just to note, I am not an employee of HISA, right? I don't work for HISA. I actually work for a software consulting firm. So I can't say that I know all the inner workings yet. But I think the biggest thing that we're looking to push and do as a group is work with HISA and be able to, communicate with the community as well. So we'll have several advocates within our group that's able to speak to what HISA is doing. Me personally, I believe HISA is a major group for this sport and being able to push things forward. I know that there's going to be naysayers out there, of course, and I look at X or Twitter every single day.
There are.
There are, and it's totally fair, right? But when you think about other sports and I listen to your all's podcast and you comparisons to, let's say, the NFL or a sport like that. It's so hard to do because this sport has existed for hundreds of years and it's been split into so many different entities, right? And you're talking about organizations that are private, organizations that are public, state run, you name it. And it's just going to take you got to give them a little bit of time to really work through the kinks and go through things. And myself as a supporter of HISA and being able to see what they've been able to do so far, I'm a big advocate for the group. Now I know that there's always improvements with every group out there. So I'm excited to see what comes over the next couple of years. And I think that our sport needs something like this more than ever, personally, seeing the last several years and where some things have gone. It's been, upsetting to see, but hopefully we can kind of turn things around as a group and look to improve the sport. And listening to, again, the podcast last week and you guys going over things and communicating things outwardly to a community where people are able to understand horse racing. When I bring my coworkers, 100 people to the racetrack, I want them to enjoy it and walk away thinking, this is one of the greatest sports and I had an amazing day. And these horses are treated better than myself, right? That's my usual joke is my mom and stepdad love their horses, maybe even more than me, right? They're getting treated better than me some days. Right? They love
I don't get weekly massages, that's for sure.
Me neither. I don't, and it's just,
pedicures.
and I think that's the biggest thing that we're looking to do is first act as advocates of HISA. And that's not to say we want to bring every single person on who's going to say HISA all day long. No, we want people who bring in critical thinking to the group, right? We don't just want everybody to say, hey, we're all going in this direction. We're going to stick together. We want people who are going to bring those critical thoughts so that we can work together as a group and propose some of these ideas to their group to move things forward in a better way.
And I think it's important. This is Brandon Badgett joining us today on the Orange Box. And I think it's important, you said before, it's a different perspective. It's not just people that have necessarily been in the game. We can have outsiders. You said even though you know a lot about the game, you're working for a software company right now, all that kind of stuff. I think that's important. It's something maybe the game is lacking a little bit in the fact that most of our ideas, looking at me and Michelle, I mean, we've been around for a long time. We keep continually try to come up with new ideas, but they don't, they often fall on deaf ears. But maybe with a new perspective and a younger audience, let's be honest, you're a younger group. I think it's a great idea, and we support it. And I think what we should do if we're really gonna do things like this and have you on, Brandon, I think you need to come back in 6 months and do a check-in with us and say, okay, where are we now? Or maybe it's a year. You tell us, but we want to stay in touch with you. Make sure that you come back on and kind of. Because there needs to be tangible evidence. I think so many times we get into these things where, and I'm sorry, I'm doing my my soapbox.
I love it. Do your soapbox. I've listened to it in the past. Keep going, Billy. Come on. I hear
it. Thank you. But I really do. I feel like a lot of times we come up, and I'm guilty of it too. We come up with a lot of things that are wrong, but we don't propose solutions. And I think if I was going to give you guys one advice is to take these ideas and propose solutions along with them that are, you use the term critical thinking, that are, progressive thinking, something different. Analytics, I think you kind of referred to before. Whatever it is, I would say don't be afraid of anything, and come to it with solutions. Because too many times we hear, oh, this doesn't work. Well, okay, what's your suggestion to fix it? That's the most important thing.
And that's the biggest thing, Billy, and that's what we're looking to do, right? So like, again, working for a software consulting firm and trying to bring that a little bit into house, we go through weekly, monthly reviews where we're adding issues to the list. And we're not just saying, hey, this is an issue. Congratulations. Nobody cares. What are you going to do about it, right? There are incidents on the tracks, like let's just say in the morning of horses colliding. What we want to talk to exercise riders out there who are actually the boots on the ground and understanding it, right? We're all watching it, but is there anything you can do from a technology perspective or something out there that might be able to improve fatalities or issues there? And there's the list goes on and on, of course, with an industry that's been around for so long. But I agree with you. I want to come back on in 6 months and say, hey, Billy, hey, Michelle, this is what we're doing. This is what we're pushing forward. It's not just to say we're another group. And that's why when I first came on here, it's to say we need to prove it. It's a prove it year. It's not to say, this is a group. It's a next generation advisory group. We're looking to bring ideas and a new perspective to the game. There's been boards out there of people who may have been on the same boards for several years. And it's not to say they're doing a terrible job or a bad job. It's to say we need to bring a new, fresh perspective in alongside with those other groups to hopefully push things forward and bring a new and fresh perspective.
Makes sense to me, my man. Michelle, anything?
I have one final question.
Go for it.
We made you the commissioner of racing instead of Mike Rapoli, and we're checking in with you a year later. What is the one thing you hope you can say you changed or made a difference in or had an impact on?
Oof, that is tough. It's hard to beat Mike Rapoli. I mean, especially with his background, right? I got a long way to go to try to get to where he is and what he's been able to add to the game. I'd say, again, I think the biggest thing is, and I was at Saratoga with those 2 fatalities this summer, and it was something that was really, really hard to explain to folks. And you know, I struggle to explain it to coworkers, like I mentioned before, who I live in Saratoga. I love Saratoga, and try and say, hey, it's all good. I think the biggest thing is trying to come up with ideas that will help push forward the integrity of this game, as well as the safety of this game. And I think the integrity is, you know, the safety is most important to my heart, but the integrity as well, where, you know, we're not having an unfair sport, especially for gamblers or owners or something like that, where maybe people are trying to cut corners, and the fair people get a chance to really actually shine and get those amazing stories of people who have awesome stories, have been in this game for years, and really get a fair chance to put their horses in the winner's circle.
It's a good way of putting it, Brandon. We appreciate you coming on today. Good luck with the Next Gen HISA Advisory Board, and we expect to hear from you soon.
Yeah, I was going to say, check in with me in 6 months, and I hope that I have something for you. We're going to do everything in our power to really push things forward, but I appreciate you all having me.
We're not going to ask you about the Saratoga Del Mar debate that Michelle and I have every year. I kind of feel like
Saratoga. The only reason you don't want to ask him is because you know what he's going to say.
What's your all's? I mean, is it you guys just think Del Mar all day? It's
no. I like Saratoga.
It's got to be Saratoga. I think if you rate the tracks, I would probably go Saratoga, Keeneland, Del Mar, but that would be mine.
Well, this is just our summer. So our battle of summer. Billy is like Billy bleeds blue and gold, and I prefer a Saratoga summer.
I think it's the best.
She prefers lots of sweat. She prefers like just horrible grandstands. Like she just crowds, like crazy crowds, people sitting in dirt. Like I don't get it.
Come on, the best restaurants.
Food. I like people walking around downtown. I like polo.
You know what? We can bring you back on for the summer special, and that way we'll get our update. You can be our Saratoga reporter and get on the show.
That's
well, let's go.
Really, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. All right,
thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it.
See you, kid. Brandon Badgett here on the Owner's Box. Interesting, Michelle. Like going in, I had no idea what this was.
Same.
I think, truthfully, if I had to be honest, I still not 100% sure what it is. But at the end there, I kind of started to figure it out, and I think he admitted that they're still trying to figure it out, which is fine. Respect what they're trying to do at number one, bringing some youth and youthful ideas and a new perspective into the game, I think is important. The fact that they're working with Lisa Lazarus is great. And hopefully they'll come up with some ideas that can.
I like a couple things that he said. One is that he just mentioned a lot about using data. I don't think that we utilize enough data in racing. Like, I mean, handicappers use it, you know, they try and get as much data as possible. I feel like we should. I think we should use more of it on the back end of it. So
I think the question becomes, Michelle, when you talk about that, and I know this from my TOBA board days and TOC board days, and the question always becomes who's going to pay for it. And that's an interesting thing that we could get involved with someone to come on and, you know, whether it's TOBA or Jockey Club or whoever, because this stuff is not cheap, right? When you put this the technology into the saddle and you like it.
I mean, with the Stride Safe, I mean, isn't that something that I felt like we were going forward with at Santa Anita? And I know it's not going to be instant. It's going to be something that, you know, has to get done. But I mean, not only that, just the way you can utilize some kind of program should be able to tell you what races would fill, right? Like,
we are behind the times on technology. Let's put it down.
So I love that. I also like the fact that he mentioned the difference between like racing and like the NFL, because I think we talk a lot about it now, but he made a really good point in that racing's older than the NFL. So it's like when they developed the NFL, right? You had rules because you're starting a new sport. But in racing, it's like, you know, it's kind of just evolved, and maybe it's plateaued on its evolution. But maybe it is unfair to, you know, compare us with these sports that are so much younger and were formed with ideas in mind.
That's a good point. And also just the way we talked about this the other day, the way the states govern and the way our sport is governed is so different than any other sport. You know, the fact that there's so many jurisdictions, rules are different in different jurisdictions. That's actually one of the things that people call out all the time. That's why people are talking about we need a centralized commissioner, government, whatever it is that will be able to make our sport cleaner. How about that?
Okay, fair. So thank you to HISA for passing us on Brandon, and we'll check back in with them and see what kind of progress they can make.
Yep.
Coming up this week, is that what we're on to now?
Yeah, no
Coming up
racing
this
on
week?
Friday.
Yeah,
I think Santa Anita finally got smart. We talked about this. It has, for those of you who don't know, it poured rain in Southern California for like 5 days.
Is like an understatement.
It
It's
was
an understatement. I literally had to like build an ark in my front yard to like get my kids to school. Okay. It rained so much. I mean, my poor chickens are now ducks. They don't even know what chickens are anymore. My dogs couldn't pee.
The track was closed Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So horses have literally probably just walked around the shed row for 4 days.
Except for Michael McCarthy's barn, because he has a big barn. He tack jogged yesterday.
He tack jogged.
Yeah,
well,
so none of us can because our barns aren't big enough.
And it canceled on Friday, which I think was the right move. Credit. They probably should have done it before, but they did it and they moved it to next Thursday, which is great. So have an extra day of racing next Thursday. They are going to run Saturday and Sunday. What's going on at Santa Anita, Michelle? Because I know we have a lot going
on Saturday, we have the Mardi Gras party. We've got the Cornholio Derby.
Wait, the Mardi Gras party. What was it that you said?
The Cornholio Derby.
The Cornhole Derby? What? What did you say?
Okay, wait. Do you remember?
What are you doing? What is happening? I hope this is the part they take out for the social media aspect, and they show what our show is all about. Okay. Just two people.
Do you not remember this? I am Cornholio. I need DP for my bunghole.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
From Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, Beavis and Butthead. No, I wasn't a big Beavis and Butthead.
Either way, Beavis and Butthead used to pull their shirts up, and they were like, "I am Cornholio." So, anyways, it is the Cornhole Derby that I called the Cornholio Derby.
Cornhole contest?
Yes, it is a cornhole tournament.
Are we playing? Are
Saturday.
You and
It is okay. It's $100 per team,
right?
And then or you could do. Okay, I don't even know what this means. BYOP is $100 a team.
Bring your own.
Switcholio is $30 per person. Beginner/youth Switcholio is $20 per person.
I think you and I should have a team. We should get uniforms. We should do the whole thing. Like we should win.
I think I feel like people that play cornhole like really play cornhole. I don't know if you just like step in and beat them.
I think you might be right about this one.
Right? I mean, it's like obviously they have like their own little names and terms for things. So I don't know if that would be
races this weekend. That's it.
Yeah. So then we have. Hold on. Let me finish. What else is going on? So then it's the Mardi Gras party trackside, and then Sunday we also have live racing. On Saturday we have the Palos Verdes, and on Sunday, we have the Sweet Life.
Sweet Life.
Wasn't there another stake too?
I think so.
I thought there was. And then, like you mentioned, because we missed Friday, we're going to have a 5-day racing week next week. So we're going to have racing Thursday the 15th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday for President's Day, which I'm 99% sure will be $1 day.
And are you here next weekend? Yes.
Yes. I'm not going to be here Sunday, Monday, because I leave for Saudi on Sunday, but I will be here Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
All right. So we'll try to do our guest on Wednesday because you're going to have to go into work on Thursday. So we got to do it on Wednesday.
Valentine's Day. Yeah. Either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Should we dress up now that we do video? Should we like wear red or something or pink? No.
Sure.
Are you and Ryan going to do something fun for Valentine's Day?
No, I think Valentine's Day is stupid. Ryan gets off the hook for Valentine's Day.
You're just like, it's stupid. Don't get me anything.
Stupid. Yeah. Why?
Why don't you get him a present? Get some, get some lacy stuff. No.
Some lacy stuff. Okay. I'll look into that. I think Valentine's is so stupid. I would rather do that for like a Friday just because than Valentine's Day.
I have a feeling my wife feels the same way about Valentine's Day.
It's dumb.
I feel like also like I'm getting to the point in my life, like even Super Bowl, like me and Walker, again, my son's second Walker mentioned on the show. He's looked at me the other day and he's like, "What do you want to do for Super Bowl?" I'm like, "I kind of just want to stay home and watch it, just me and you." And he's like, "Me too." Like I used to be excited, like let's go to a Super Bowl party and let's go drink some beers and blah blah and go to a bar or something.
So annoying. It's so annoying to go because
you want to watch it.
Yes. You know, actually, Zoe and I took my kids to Great Wolf Lodge this week. And we
Yeah.
were like, you know, we always had like best intentions, like hang out, do stuff. We're gonna go to the little party they've got. We were literally in bed at like 7:15, and we were like, oh, this is so nice. We had like our face masks on.
Is it?
I'll show you. I have a picture of that.
I'm older than you.
Who?
How old are you?
Me? I'm
Yeah.
41.
Yeah, I am way older than you.
Look
Oh
at
my
we all
God.
we're in our little face masks.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yeah, I just feel very old sometimes. Anyway, all right. Thank you to Brandon Badgett for coming on the show today. We are part of the In the Money Media Network. Michelle is the best. It was a great show. Thank you to all of our sponsors. We're out. Goodbye. Peace.
Bye.
Happy Valentine's Day soon. Go Taylor Swift.